Well, welcome back to the channel. It's Mark with the Wandering Reseller. Currently parked down here at the beach. Thought I'd talk to you about today's video. Today's video is about retiring as a reseller and how I'm planning on doing it, the goals I've set, and stay tuned and I'll break down every little idea I have. Most of the ideas are now in play, and now it's just gonna put time and consistency and just keep working towards the promised land. Can't promise, it's all based on performance. If you don't do the work, it'll take a lot longer. So stay tuned and I'll explain my retirement plan. All right, before we start talking about my strategy to retire, I pulled some inventory to list on eBay this week when I went to the flea market. I got a whole tote full of my grandmother's collectibles and basically a lot of yarn to crochet with, and brought some of these trophies back. Hopefully you never know, you find a kid that wants a trophy. I sold trophies in the past, but so I got a lot of listings here. The goal is to get to 100,000 listings here in the next 2-3 years. Part of the retirement plan. Got to have a few different buckets making money. So right now I'm selling Facebook Marketplace items, I'm selling at swap meets, and I'm selling on eBay. So those are 3 revenue streams. Soon there'll be a 4th revenue stream, which will be my post-listing AI tool. List 10 times faster and source more accurately for high sell-through rate items. So I'll be shifting back to doing SEO for that, and did that for customers for quite a few years, and now I have a product that I can do it for and hopefully generate some customers. And it's like any service, you got to put effort into it. But here's the batch of stuff that I have no idea what's in here. I haven't been in this. But yarn, I sell yarn on most of my store is grandmother's collectibles and some of his stuff. But today is beautiful. I'm gonna do my 5-mile walk. We're gonna ride the bike. So I started walking 5 miles a day, and then what I noticed now, the first weekend doing flea markets, I struggled with my hands and my arms being sore from lifting. So I got to start doing a little biking, so my arms, for me to do it 8 times a month, the flea market, Saturdays and Sundays, I have to be stronger. Because I have to then work Monday. So I have to ship. And if I'm sore, I was sore after one day, and it took me almost a whole day to recover on Sunday. So I have to put a few thousand miles on this bike to get those muscles, using those muscles. So stay tuned. I'll break down my retirement plan, my strategy, and I look forward to sharing just a different way of looking at it. We'll see you soon. Well, I'm done with that walk. That was nice, 5 miles. So today's video is all about my retirement fund. I'm looking forward to applying all of my ideas in motion. But it started a few months ago where I started tithing to my church, and then realized that I needed to do the same thing for my retirement program. So I created these buckets. In the one bucket was real estate, which I already own 3 lots in Arkansas. So I'm diversified there, and I had a Fidelity account where I was basically taking how many orders I had a month and adding $1 to my investments. Inside my investments, I would have 3 buckets: low risk, middle risk, high risk. So it was working, but then I realized as my store grew, volume as well as per order cost, I needed to change the rules. What I did was, any month I'm under $15 an order on the average, I would only put $1 in. And any time I'm over $15, I would put $1.50 in. So when I have 300 orders and I'm at $17, I put in $450 in my investment. And then I would then divide that into 3 types of stocks: low risk, high, middle risk, and high risk, and more towards the low risk. So I'm working towards this, and I didn't realize I was going to start doing flea markets. Depending on how many times a month I can bring home between $1,000 and $3,000 a month revenue, and then I have to pay my taxes on that. And then what I plan on doing is, since my main eBay store, I'm down to 1 store on eBay. I used to have 2, and in my 1 eBay store I have 20,000 sold items over the years. It's not many, but I count those as $1 shares, and I need to completely fill. I need to have at least $20,000 in my stocks, so I can then move on to the 3rd bucket. We'll talk about the 3rd bucket here soon. Sounds complicated. So right now I'm at $17.80 an order. I'm at 325, so I'm pushing close to $500 I'll put in at the first of the month. First of the month I get paid by eBay. I'll take the cash I made from the flea markets and I'll take whatever I'm short of $1,000 a month investment online until I catch up to my 20,000 list of sold items. So once I'm there, that bucket is full. Similar to my property in Arkansas, that bucket's full. And then the 3rd bucket will be cash. Once I get hard cash. So this hard cash is going to be used to buy new inventory for the flea market, and then keep my eBay store going. The goal is to have 100,000 inventory in the next 3 years. I'll be there. The volume alone from the sales a month will be over $1,000 a month just going into my stocks. The income that I'm making from the flea market after taxes, I'll be diversifying to hard cash, so I'm able to buy new lockers, new storage lockers, the goal is to move to Arkansas with the 100,000 units. I'm going to end up moving to Arkansas in the next 2.5 years, 3 years, where I'll be able to, the goal is to buy commercial real estate near my properties I own. And the commercial real estate will be like a barnuminium where I'll be able to have a seasonal thrift store. Seasonal thrift store will allow me to use the warehouse to fill up the items that don't sell the 3rd or 4th time at the flea market, and I'll put it in the seasonal thrift store, and I'll palletize them, ship them to Arkansas, and they'll fill up my inventory for the store. It's 6 months out of the year, half the day, allowing me to take some time to fish, and hopefully that's the plan. It's not, as the eBay store grows, the volume of monthly orders will grow. But at the beginning, I look at these 3 buckets. I need to have at least 20 grand in the stock market. I have at least probably 28,000 in the properties, and then the 3rd one will be that much in the cash, and that'll give me the flexibility to buy stuff that I see on the fly. And the goal by then is maybe build a small warehouse on one of my properties, so I would do the flea market here when I'm in California, and when I'm in Arkansas I'll be doing the seasonal thrift store, shipping in the morning my inventory that sold. When I rotate back to this house here in California, the lots and the orders that I was getting in Arkansas, the listings will be, the inventory will be moved to 0 inventory, so they won't sell. And then when I get back to California, I'll change the listings that were moved from California to 0 to back to 1. So those will start selling. So I don't have to move the inventories back and forth through California. The only time I'll be moving inventory is once I'm done with the flea market and no one bought it over a certain amount of time. I just keep pushing it and filling up not a shipping container, but maybe even I take a truck with my trailer and I'm able to like fit 6 pallets on it. Well, that's a good amount of inventory for, you know, every year to be refilling the store. Yeah, I can't rely on, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have some Social Security, and it'll probably be, since I've worked most of my life for myself, and there'll be some work that I did where I'll be, you know, they'll be paying me the minimum, and that's gonna be okay, but I'm not gonna rely on that. You know, knowing that the stocks will grow and I'll get my dividends and it'll just refinance it. It just keeps growing and growing every year. You know, in 20 years, I'm going to keep putting money in, and at the end, there should be $1 million between the properties, the home I have here in California, plus the inventory I have in the flea market, the seasonal thrift, plus there should be like $1 million for me to retire and slow down. And this is going to be around 74, but I have to start now. I have to put $1,000 into this every month, no matter what. $1,000. You know, the vision is there. Now I have goals. I'm starting to do the thrift stores. Not the thrift store, I'm starting to do the swap meets. Once I get the routine in the swap meet organized, I'll start diversifying that money into more shares. And then I'll have, once the stock is completely, once I'm diversified in the stocks where it's not risk, it's just volume of money, I then can turn and start buying more inventory to list quicker, which I'll still be buying inventory, but it won't be as much as when I have the stocks. And that's based on how many units I have in my store sold over the years. And once I catch up to that number, the goal is $1 order for the rest of my life. $1. Every time my order comes in, $1 goes to online investments or property. And so that's my plan, my strategy. You know, bucket 1 is done. I'm now working on bucket 2, and a third bucket, I'll be diversifying money from my sales from flea markets into cash. So that bucket will be happening the same time the second bucket happens. Hopefully this works. If not, I'll have a lot of items to still sell. But I can see it working. I've already got my dividends from this last quarter, and it just will keep growing. It'll just keep going, and I just have to say goodbye to that money. It's not money I need. It's money that I'm not using, I'm not spending. And it's something different. And so it's $1 every order. It magnifies if you're selling $15 on average the whole month, or when it gets to $20 a month, which it should, because I'm at 17 now and I'm only buying smarter with the tool, AI tool I created. I'll then put in $2 an order. So if I average over $20 a month on orders, and I'm at 500 orders, well, that's just $1,000. That's the cap that I put into the investment, and then I can then diversify that extra money into the third bucket. And then once that's capped, I might come up with another bucket, maybe a bass boat or something. But maybe I buy more property. Maybe I buy that commercial building that I was talking about, where I can do the seasonal thrift. I don't know. I want to keep growing this business. It's growing. I got my buckets. I've been doing reselling for a while now, and this is exciting because I got a new service coming out, which that will be based on how many users. The more users, the more money goes into these buckets. And hopefully you guys will see this service here in the next few months. I see it, I'm using it, and it's pretty amazing. It's made my life a lot better. I've got time for myself. I got time to research and understand what not to buy and what to look for. And soon, I might be having robots in the warehouse pulling my inventories for me to ship. You know, the AI is there to help. It's to magnify the volume. That's something I'm really considering, because volume and work is time, and we don't have so much time in our lives to do stuff. So if I had 2 robots, one taking photos and one pulling inventory all night, and I just come in and ship, and maybe I train them over years how to ship, I'd just be monitoring. and buying inventory. And that's another problem. I'm having to buy 3,000 new units every month for eBay. Every hour I list. For me to list every hour, I have to buy 3,000 new items every month that aren't just cheap CDs. I'm targeting categories that have high sell-through rate items in the category. So I have to learn, like the one I just learned was promotional items. I typed in promotions in my product, and it gave me all these different promotional items that have sell-through rate, high sell-through rate, and high value. And shockingly, Snap-on came back, and I bought a whole bunch of Snap-on. I got all these vintage stickers for promotional items. They're all selling for like $20, $25 a unit. I would have never known that. And so I'm using AI to help me grow my business. I'm helping to grow how much per item, and it's helping me. It's telling me what not to buy. Like, I'm done buying post-off cards. Oh, if I come across some military real photo postcards, they're worth a lot more money than the average, then yes, I might buy those. But thank you for listening to my goals. These are my goals. The dream is still to get to Arkansas here. Soon we'll go out there and visit my property and kind of get a perk test started, and just chipping away a little bit at a time. If it's just going to be a warehouse with a bathroom and a shower, then I'll buy my commercial building. There was a beautiful commercial building for $42,000. There's only 5,000 people in this city, but during the summertime, the traveling time, there's people going through it all day long looking for treasures. So that's what I'm talking about, seasonal thrift. And then when I'm home here in California, I'll be buying storage lockers, buying auction items, doing the swap meet 2 days a week, shipping and listing every day during the week, and then getting ready for my next trip to Arkansas. And then half the season, every 6 months, I'll be going back and forth. And then I'll be 15 years, I'll be 70, and I plan on keep on working. I'll be 16 years, I'll be 70. It's going fast enough. I don't need to make it faster. So thanks for watching and listening to my plan. I hope if you're a reseller and you're worried about retirement, maybe some of these ideas will help you. You know, maybe it just starts with this savings account, and you're just moving $1 for every order into your savings and never touch it. You know, if I'm listing 100 a day, I'm definitely going to be over 500-600 items a month in orders, plus the sales from the flea market. I'll be able to push my $1,000 of investment a month into my different buckets. I'll be able to use the other money to buy inventory and pay my bills and pay myself and live my life. You know, it was a lot harder to do before when we had to create our own listings. Now with AI, I'm getting a 95% confidence score on my listings, and I'm believing that volume is going to be better items, higher sell-through rated items are going to be what I focus on. So thanks for watching. I'm going to walk around the beach. I'll show you some of the beach, and then I'm going to do my bike ride and back to work. Until next time, hit that like button. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, guys. So beautiful day. Yes, beautiful day.